And we are back on the Morning Brew with friends. I love this because, Greg, you're a regular, but
Monday morning brewer.
Right, yeah. And this is your first time on, I think, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is Shada Kessler Frost, and
Yes.
you are the executive director of Meals on Wheels.
Yes, I am.
And you guys have some cool stuff coming up.
Yes, we do.
I love this because it's the big breakfast. It's the EGGSTRAVAGANZA.
Yes, our 14th annual EGGSTRAVAGANZA. It's our largest fundraiser of the year, and it's a lot of fun.
I love it.
Yes.
So what happens at the EGGSTRAVAGANZA? It sounds like I'm going to eat some eggs when I go.
You could, among other things. I always like to describe it as a champagne brunch on a beer budget.
Lovely.
Supporting a good cause. Full breakfast buffet, you know, eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits, and gravy. And then we also have guest chefs come in from around the city doing made-to-order omelets and some Belgian waffles.
That sounds good. Any of the chefs we know, celebrity folks?
Well, these guys right here, Frost Mortgage is going to be there. They have their own pancake station.
Yeah, we're the pancake chefs. Greg
Excellent.
Jr. and I have been doing that for several years now.
Excellent.
So you come on out on Saturday and we'll flip a pancake onto your plate.
I will be there. That sounds like a blast.
You need to be there.
I will be,
You're
yeah.
at everything else for crying out loud.
I try to be. You know, I try to be at every networking event I can
Yeah.
because the city is so full of so many fun things to do, right? But the Meals on Wheels is one of those great organizations that I don't think people realize or know how much you guys actually do.
We do a lot. We do a lot around the city.
How many people do you serve?
So we do about 500 meals per day. Last year alone, we served over 122,000 hot meals. We started in 1972, and since that time, we estimate that we've done over 3 million meals for the homebound around the city.
So how does somebody sign up for this? Are there requirements? Are there?
Well, we work on a sliding scale, so we like to say any age, any reason. We don't turn anybody away, but depending on what the income level is what we ask you to pay.
Okay.
So we do have financial assistance available for those who need it. We don't turn anyone away because of age. A lot of people think of Meals on Wheels and they think we only serve the senior population, but that's untrue. About a third of the clientele that we serve is under the age of 65.
Wow.
And our youngest clients actually in their 20s right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are they just generally homebound folks, or what? What are the general reasons somebody would want to call?
Disabilities, inability to get out of the home, people who can't stand for long periods of time and are unable to cook food. You know, a lot of times we take the ability to get food and make food for granted. And when you can't stand for more than, a couple minutes, or you don't have the ability to, or the dexterity to use your hands, it can become an issue very quickly.
Right. And in your case, how did you come to Meals on Wheels? How did you end up becoming the director?
I started as a volunteer.
Oh, yeah?
I started as a volunteer probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I was a volunteer driver through our corporate driving program. And I really fell in love with the clients that I was serving. They became like family. I would hear their stories and hear about their grandkids and, people coming to visit and that kind of thing. And I wanted to get more and more involved. And I eventually ended up on the board and then into this position.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So how important is it to have these large fundraisers every year? Because since a large group of the population it's basically subsidized, right?
It is. So we're a private nonprofit, so we receive no state or federal funding, and so we really rely on events like this to help keep our wheels turning and our doors open. And having sponsors like Frost Mortgage, who has been our title sponsor for the past few years, really allows us to be able to do what we do.
Very cool. So how many folks do you serve that are getting subsidized meals? I mean, is it like 80%, 90%?
So we have a couple different groups that we serve. We're about a third private pay. We have a third that's third-party pay, maybe through insurance or a third-party company, and then we have about a third that are subsidized or free.
One of the things that people should know is that someone who has a relative in the Albuquerque market that's concerned about that relative's ability to feed themselves and sustain themselves could employ Meals on Wheels.
You can just call them up and say, please come on by.
Yes, and we found that for $1,635 a year, you can feed somebody the equivalent of 1.5 meals a day, 5 days a week. So if you have an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent here in Albuquerque, you could employ Meals on Wheels to see that they had a meal every day.
And what I love too is that I was at the Great Grant giveaway, and we
yes.
saw that cool video, right?
Yes.
You were there,
Yes.
and that was cool. Like there were people who talked about how the delivery driver, when they show up, it's like the highlight of their day. You know, it's like one of the few people they get to see, one of the few visitors.
Sometimes it's the only person they get to see in a day.
Yeah.
Big stretches of time go by where the Meals on Wheels person is the only person that they see.
Right.
About half our clients say that the Meals on Wheels volunteer is the only person they see on a regular basis.
Well, it's got to be fun to be one of the volunteers and deliver.
Oh, it's a blast.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'll change your life. We're actually looking for volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers, especially drivers. If you
Do you need a special kind of car? Do you need a pickup truck? Do you can just
no, we
yeah?
just get a cooler and a bag probably about this big full of hot meals. You just put it in your back seat and go.
And go on.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
How many people does a typical driver get to visit per day?
About 6 to 12. Some routes are larger, some routes are smaller, but the average is between 6 and 12 people a day. And we encourage people to hang out and talk a little bit and
Have fun with it, right?
Have fun with it, why
Right.
not?
Right. The EGGSTRAVAGANZA is Saturday morning.
Yes.
And I know that Greg is one of the celebrity chefs, pancake chef.
Yes.
Who are some of the other folks we get to see?
So we actually, this year, we're very excited. We have Kenny Thomas coming in.
Oh,
Former-
basketball player Kenny
yeah,
Thomas.
former
Yes.
Maryland NBA player.
He'll be hard to miss because he's like 7'8".
He's going to be the tallest guy there. But he'll be cooking omelets
Oh, really?
for a little while, yeah. So
I love
he'll be
it.
There.
He's a great supporter of Albuquerque.
He really is. He's been a big supporter of ours as well. So
Very cool.
we're excited to have him there. Orbit's going to make an appearance.
Oh, Orbit the
Yes,
Isotopes
from
mascot.
The Isotopes, he'll be there. We have some chefs coming in from Chili's and Dion's, the Egg and I, which is a fantastic breakfast place, so their omelets are going to be really good.
Right.
And a couple other places around town.
That sounds good. So the competition is on, Greg. Are you going to be competing with the Egg and I guys?
We're always competing with those real chefs. But we have a lot of fun with it. We have a pancake tossing event. It's every other person that comes up, we make them step back a few feet and we see if we can't flip pancakes onto
their plate.
Yeah. The little kids really like that.
I'm sure.
So we have a lot of fun. It's a great charity. There's no nobler thing that one can do than to help somebody
To defeat
get
somebody.
food.
Yeah.
And so we're real happy to be a part of it.
That's very cool. So there is what is it? breakfastextravaganza.com, and it's spelled eggextravaganza.com.
That's right.
And you can sign up there. How much are tickets?
Tickets are $20 for adults, $10 for kids. Under 4 are free.
Excellent. And we'll be there for the pancake. What's your record for pancake flipping? 8 feet, 10 feet, 50
I can
feet?
get you way out there. It's a mutual thing. It's how good of a catcher are you?
Okay.
I'm a pretty good flipper.
Maybe Monday. If you'll come back Monday,
Yeah.
we'll set up a skillet over here, and I'll grab a plate. We will we'll pit you against Lee, our floor director
there
here.
we go. That'll be
feel
a
it's
good.
And we'll make something happen.
That'll be good.
We're back at
Eggs just everywhere.
eggs everywhere. And Dan, will you help me catch eggs and pancakes?
Totally.
Excellent.
What about your mom, too?
I love that. She would love that. But first, we got to come back in a couple of seconds with our friends from TEDx who can tell us all about the new TEDx event. Have you guys been? It's excellent.
That's awesome.
Yes, back in a couple of seconds. Good morning, Brew.
Excellent.
I'm glad you got that. Thank you.
I'm glad you got it.